Hey, in this video I will show you a new data pack for teams. It can be used by up to 100 players, up to 4 players per team, and you can also create custom teams. After installing the data pack, running the reload command will display a menu for all creative players on the server. Here you can set the team size and how you want to assign the players. Clicking random will randomize everyone in teams of the size you chose. Keep in mind that you should run these commands when everybody you want to be a part of a team is online, or reload the data pack after someone new joins. To reset the teams, you can click on the reset button. Colors are duplicated because there are not enough colors in Minecraft as of 1.15. If you want to create custom teams and let players choose their teammates, you can use the custom teams button. This will show a menu to everybody on the server. This menu has 3 buttons. Create team, which adds you in a team and makes your team visible in the list. The second button shows you all teams available at the moment you clicked it, so keep in mind to click it again if you want to refresh the list. Here you will see a list of all the teams created, with one member's name as captain. You can join any team you want, as long as it doesn't exceed the team size limit. To leave a team, you can just press the leave button. This data pack also has constraints. For example, if you create a team, you can join or create another team until you leave your current one. I plan on making this data pack better in the future, adding more features like, for example, requesting access to a team, the captain being the only one able to accept it. But for now, let's see how it works. Like in all my data packs, when it's loaded, it calls the init function. This function sets the following things up. It adds a new objective settings, in which we restore the team size and the team type, random or custom, and initializes both values with 0. And an objective assigned, which holds evidence of who's in a team or who's not, along with 3 triggers, 2 of which are activated to all players that are not in a team, and the other one for everybody. At the end, the menu will be displayed. Clicking on the random teams button calls this function here. This will call another function add teams, and through 4 if statements, it will call the function that matches the team size you've set. The function teams add only adds 100 teams and modifies the color and friendly fire. These 4 functions add players randomly to the teams, each for team size. Reset teams calls this function, which removes all the teams created and settings for custom teams, which we are getting into now. Custom teams will call the teams custom function, which adds the teams again, sets the team type on 1 and prints the menu. Down below we see that we add the value 0 to a bunch of fake players. This is done to initialize the value with 0 if it doesn't exist, or not change it if it exists, because we want to be able to reload the data pack without affecting teams already created. For custom teams, I've created 100 triggers for the join action for each team, created here, and 1 for creating a team. I then enable these triggers for all players that have assigned 0, because if you reload the data pack, we don't want to allow players already in a team to join another team without leaving. That would make him be in 2 teams at once. The function enable join does exactly what it should, enable all join triggers for players that have assigned 0. From now on, all actions for this data pack are through triggers I've mentioned with one additional one, show teams. This one is activated for every tick for everybody so that they can refresh the teams list how many times they want. Function check is called every time and listens for changing on those 3 triggers and the 100 for join. When a player clicks the create team button, it triggers the create team objective, which is used here to call create team. This function checks all teams to find an empty one, adds the player that triggered the objective to it, sets the team size to 1, sets the player assigned objective to 1, and disables creating and joining triggers for that player. When a player clicks the join team button, it works the same way as the create team button. It calls this function which prints all teams created and one of the members, not necessarily the captain. When you click join, it will trigger the specific objective trigger for that team. This checks which team is triggered, checks its size, and if it's not full, it adds the player to that team, disabling his ability to join or create other teams. The function check that I've showed you earlier checks for those 100 triggers every tick, so it will be fired when someone clicks join. Leave team is pretty simple. When you click it, it will reduce the team size by 1, remove you from the team, sets assign to 0, and reactivate triggers for joining or creating a team. Well, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like. Bye.